Hey everybody, the new set Gatecrash is about to be released, and so we have another Commander set review for you guys. I'm Karsten.
And I'm Brianne.
And we'll be looking at some honorable mentions, our top 10 most relevant cards to Commander, and then we'll look at all 5 of the new generals individually. So let's jump right in with the honorable mentions.
We have a lot of cool cards in the set, but not all of them are going to be relevant for everyone, so we took the honorable mentions and divided them into categories according to who will want to play the cards.
So first off, we have some budget options: Aetherize, Rapid Hybridization, Midnight Recovery, Mark for Death, and Urban Evolution. So just one of the cards that really pops out to me is Rapid Hybridization. It's not like a Doomblade where you're limited to what creature you kill any creature. So killing big Aurelias or Obzidats even, and turn them into 3/3 useless creatures is fantastic.
And I really like Urban Evolution. It's drawing 3 cards for 5 mana, but it's kind of made better by the fact that you get to play an extra land that turn, so it's really good early game setup. It's not for everyone, but I think it's a really great budget option.
Next up, we have the cool mill cards for the people who love to play mill. So we have Grizzly Spectacle, Undercity Informer, Consuming Aberration, Duskmantle Guildmage, and Mind Grind.
I like Grizzly Spectacle. Now I realize it's 4 mana spot removal, but it is an instant, and if you're using it to hit a really big creature, then they're milling quite a few cards, and so being able to do the double duty of being really effective spot removal and effective mill, to me makes it kind of playable in some mill decks.
Undercity Informer is my personal favorite of the mill cards in the set, mainly because he's an awesome sack outlet, which is always good to have. And then for every sack, you get like a miniature version of Mind Funeral, which is really, really powerful.
Duskmantle Guildmage is really awesome and super combo-licious, because I know we've talked before on the channel about the combo with Bloodchief Ascension and Mind Crank. Duskmantle Guildmage can take the place of Bloodchief Ascension in that combo. So you've got a really nice engine, because Bloodchief Ascension's great, but you have to waste resources getting it online. Whereas Duskmantle Guildmage, if you have enough mana, you can just start the whole thing.
Next up, we have our cool +1/+1 counter cards. A lot of people just love playing around with +1/+1 counters, especially if you're a Kraj player. So these cards are for you. Fathom Mage, Master Biomancer, and Zamek Guildmage.
I really like Fathom Mage, because not only does Fathom Mage slot really well into any deck that wants to play around with +1/+1 counters, it's really good in Momir Vig. If you play a green creature that's bigger than Fathom Mage, not only are you going to get to tutor with the green creature, Fathom Mage is going to draw you a card. And so you're doing what a blue-green creature would normally do with a mono-green creature, and in Momir Vig, that's really awesome.
My personal favorite of the +1/+1 counter cards is Zamek Guildmage. He's like Fathom Mage in the fact that he can draw a lot of cards, but everyone automatically enters battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. Kraj is able to use all of your creatures' activated abilities right off the bat. Next up, we have the really cool beatdown cards. These cards include Angelic Skirmisher, 5-Alarm Fire, Assemble the Legion, and Boros Charm. Assemble the Legion is just so cool. The only thing with Assemble the Legion is it's a little bit pricier to get off the ground, unlike Bitter Blossom, which only costs 2. But Assemble the Legion just exponentially grows your token army every single turn. If someone doesn't deal with Assemble the Legion soon, they're going to be in really big trouble. And not to mention, Assemble the Legion gives your tokens haste. So these tokens are going to get into the fray as soon as they hit the battlefield.
I'm not really one to like Boros cards, but I'm actually a really big fan of Boros Charm. Now, the first mode, you get to deal 4 damage to target player. That's kind of sucks. But if you look at the second 2 modes, they're really good, because the second mode is permanent, you control, or indestructible this turn. That's your silver bullet against rats. You're probably the reason they're playing the Wrath, and now that Wrath is useless. And then the last mode, I mean, let's say you're playing Aurelia as your general. She's gonna have double strike. I mean, the fact that you can save your board from Wraths or make creatures swing for a bunch, to me makes Boros Charm really cool.
And the rest of our honorable mentions don't really fit in any category.
First off, we have Lord of the Void. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm really disappointed in Lord of the Void, because I looked at him, and he's a demon, and he's got triple black in his mana cost, and a block of text. I'm like, oh yeah, we've got Zathra Demon right here. And then I read him, and he doesn't do anything bad. Why is he not dealing me damage, or exiling cards from my library, or making me lose the game, or something like that? No. He just gets me creatures from opponents' libraries and puts them onto the battlefield under my control. That's awesome, so Lord of the Void's crap.
Next, we have Ogre Slumlord. For one, if you want to play a rat deck, there are several different cards with the rat creature type that are useful. Not to mention, it gives your rats death touch, so your rats will continue to help you produce more rats because they're killing things as soon as they touch them. So, Ogre Slumlord, he's worth a mention because he's just really cool.
Serene Remembrance is really cheap utility because it's just 1 mana to shuffle it and 3 cards into your library, which is really awesome. But honestly, when I saw that, my only thought was, why couldn't they just reprint Loaming Shaman? But you can either recycle your stuff or use it as graveyard hate, so I've always liked cards that do that.
Rebel Hulk. All I can say about this guy is like Stompy, Smashy Face, Smash Stomp. In red-green, you're going to be ramping a bunch to play your big creatures, and being able to Blood Rush this guy for 3 to give maybe your Craterhoof Behemoth that much more of a boost. Rebel Hulk is just going to come out of nowhere and win games for people.
Dimir Charm, honestly, Dimir Charm, I think, besides Boros Charm, is the only other good charm in the set for EDH, and it's not going to see a lot of wide play. But I like all 3 of its modes, because its first mode is counter target sorcery spell, and how many awesome sorcery spells do people cast that you want to counter? The second mode is destroy target creature with power 2 or less, and you're thinking, well, this is EDH, the format with big creatures. Well, this is also the format with little utility dudes, and it's also the format of generals with power 2 or less. And then the last mode, not only does it allow you to dig, and you're playing blue-black, so you probably don't mind putting your own cards in your graveyard, but you can also mess with other people's top of the library tutors. So if someone vampiric tutors, you can go, oh, well, I want to look at the top 3 cards of your library. Oh, this card you just tutored for? Bennett.
Next, we have Signal the Clans. This card is a little bit random and a little bit unreliable. You're probably going to be playing creatures that just have a lot of repeated abilities. And so what Signal the Clans does for you is you can get 3 of your biggest fatties. It doesn't really matter which one you get. You just want one big fatty. And what's cool about Signal the Clans is you'll get one no matter what. But it's still an awesome tutor at instant speed, but the red randomness kind of makes it unreliable.
I really like Duskmantle Seer. First off, I wanted them to reprint Dark Confidant, but we get this guy, and I'm like, oh, this is just lame. And then I really started to think about it, and I realized if you've built around Duskmantle Seer, and everyone else hasn't, then it's gonna work out for you, because you're gonna be drawing stuff that costs 2 or 3 or 4 mana, and other people are gonna be flipping like 5, 6, 7 cost cards. You have the potential to make your opponents lose a lot of life.
Next up, we have the Orsov Guildmage, Vizcapa Guildmage. Vizcapa Guildmage fits perfectly into your Sanguine Bond, Exquisite Blood combo. We all know that Sanguine Bond, Exquisite Blood kills the board. Vizcapa Guildmage can replace Sanguine Bond and just work by itself with Exquisite Blood. It's going to see play. I guarantee it.
The next card was honestly kind of a disappointment for me, and that's Mystic Genesis. Because I saw it, and my first thought was, why didn't they just reprint Mystic Snake? But aside from my knee-jerk reaction of disappointment, it's actually really cool, because it's very reminiscent of Draining Welk, to where when you counter a spell, you get a creature for it. And so, it's not Mystic Snake or Draining Welk in that it's not a creature and you can't abuse it, but it's just a really cool counter spell.
Next up is Immortal Servitude. If you build around this card, there's all kinds of things you can do with it. The fact that they go straight from the graveyard to the battlefield makes this card very playable. This card also helps enable some Birthing Pod decks, so if you want to play a green, white, black deck, Immortal Servitude will be able to return creatures in a certain mana cost, so you can sack them again to continue Birthing Pod shenanigans.
Whispering Madness, it's kind of like a windfall every turn, but the fact that it has Cypher is really awesome. Because you get to do that, and it messes people's hands up so much when you make them do that over and over and over again. And I think it'll slot pretty handily into a lot of the other mill strategies, because it'll allow you to dig into your cheap mill cards.
And then next up we have Stolen Identity. Allows you to basically get an unkicked Rite Replication every time you hit someone. And that can be really powerful. So you're going to be copying, let me see, I need a Chromatic Lantern. So I'm going to copy your Chromatic Lantern, and then I'm going to copy your Chromatic Lantern again.
Metamorph.
It almost made our top 10, but...
So we'll say this is number 11.
Yes. And you'll see why when you see our top 10.
And for our last honorable mention, we have Biovisionary. And I know there's 2 of you out there saying, but what? This is a singleton format. It doesn't matter. Rite of Replication is a thing. Biovisionary is just a vanilla creature, but there are so many people that see something that says win the game in an alternate way, and they love that. So I think there are people out there building whole decks around Biovisionary.
And now let's take a look at our top 10 most relevant commander cards from Gatecrash. At number 10, we have Aurelia's Fury. It's at instant speed, you pay X, you can pump as much as you want into it. It's kind of like a different version of Comet Storm, being able to tap creatures down, so if you don't kill the creature, at least it's tapped down, and you can swing in past it. So, Aurelia's Fury is going to see play. It's just probably not as relevant in Commander as it is in some of the other constructed formats.
At number 9, we have Cryptghast, and so Cryptghast can be played in mono black decks, which makes it extremely relevant for Commander, because it is the cheapest mana doubler that black gets. You can ramp this guy out with a rock on turn 3 and be making all kinds of mana in the early game. I think Cryptghast is going to quickly become one of the best mana doublers in mono black. Its only weakness is that it's a creature, but it's a creature and you're playing mono black. You can get it back. At number 8, we have Treasury Thrall, and I'm gonna level with you guys, this is probably one of my favorite cards in the set. Treasury Thrall is awesome, and right now I'm just really sad that I don't have a black-white deck to put him in. The fact that when he attacks, it's not when he deals combat damage, when he attacks, you can get an artifact, a creature, or an enchantment. And so for a guy who does this every turn and has Extort on top of that, this guy is awesome. Who cares if he's a vanilla 4/4? I mean, you put Darksteel Plate on this guy, and you just go to town. I kind of want to build a deck just so I can put Treasury Thrall in it.
Next up, we have Clan Defiance. The fact that it says choose one or more, you can choose all 3 modes, killing 2 creatures, and shooting a player all at the same time, which is awesome. It's sorcery speed, so it's a little bit slower than like Aurelia's Fury. It's more of a precision card, more of a scalpel burn spell.
It takes care of the problem with burn spells because normally you pick those big X burn spells because you want to throw them at players, but then there's this big creature that you have to take care of. Not only can you take care of 2 creatures, you can throw it at someone's face at the same time.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
At number 6, we have Merciless Eviction. Final Judgment is good. That card is fantastic. When you're exiling everyone's creatures, that really hurts because they can't even dig them out of their library or their graveyard. So it's like they took Final Judgment and they're like, maybe do you guys want options with that? Maybe you want to exile all artifacts? Well, 6 mana, oh crap, reset button. You can even exile all planeswalkers if you want. When the worst thing about this card is that you can only choose one of them, that says that this card is really good.
A lot of people are comparing it to Austere Command, and it's similar to Austere Command because it has all the options, but at the same time, it definitely doesn't fill the same slot that Austere Command does.
I think it's more accurate to compare Merciless Eviction to Final Judgment and just say it's Final Judgment with more options.
At number 5, we have Enter the Infinite. A lot of people are excited about this card, and for understandable reasons. But putting our opinions out there right on the table, Brianna and I both believe that Enter the Infinite is, how should I put this?
It's lame.
You know, you hear us talk about it, we say it's lame, but we'd put it at number 5. This card doesn't win you the game, but it might as well win you the game. Enter the Infinite and Omniscience is a win game combo. It just wins you the game right there.
So basically what we're saying is we know it's powerful, and we know people are going to play it, but we don't like it. That's why you're listening to us and our opinions, so you can tell us that we're wrong.
And after Enter the Infinite, we have Hellkite Tyrant. I love taking control of people's stuff. I am a Aikido player at heart, so I love to take people's strength and use it against them.
Mycosynth Lattice is a thing. Play Mycosynth Lattice, win the game?
Hellkite Tyrant is going to see play in red decks, and if it doesn't, I think it's a crime.
I don't like him because, if you guys haven't noticed, I'd rather just blow people's crap up than try to take it. But if you like stealing stuff, then this dude is like the king of stealing stuff.
And at number 3, we have Illusionist Bracers. This card is a lot like Rings of Brighthearth, except it's an equipment. Rings of Brighthearth, you have to pay 2, and you can copy any activated ability on anything. But on Illusionist Bracers, it has to be a creature. So Illusionist Bracers goes great with some really awesome generals.
A lot of creatures.
There's so many awesome activated abilities on creatures, and having this in your deck to be able to just double it just for free. Sure, you have to equip it and all that, but is going to be very, very powerful.
Okay, at number 2, we have Thespian Stage. And to me, I think the best thing about Thespian Stage is it fixes all the things that are wrong with Vesuva in this format. I didn't just say that Vesuva's bad. Because it's not. I play it in several decks because that card is fantastic. But the problem with Vesuva is, let's say you draw it like turn 5 and you want a land drop. Aw crap, I guess I'll just like copy your command tower or something with Vesuva. That's not a bad play, but maybe I wanted to copy my Maze of Ith or my Strip Mine or my Phyrexia's Core, and I needed mana, so I just had to copy one of your lands. Whereas Thespian Stage taps for mana the turn it comes down. And then when you get to the later game, then you can copy something. And so that is like the biggest problem with Vesuva fixed right there in Commander. And then the other thing about it is that it's kind of a rattlesnake card, because if I have a Thespian Stage out and you have an Urborg in your hand, you're maybe going to think twice about playing that.
Thespian Stage can really be thrown into any deck, and there's really no downside to it.
It may not be the optimal land to play, but you can shove a Thespian Stage in your deck and it's not going to be bad. At some point, you're going to get some use out of it.
At number 1, our most relevant card to Commander from Gatecrash, I guess I should actually say cards, are the Primordials. Everyone's going to want to play a Primordial in their deck because they all give you something relevant and awesome. My favorite Primordial is probably Sepulchral Primordial, the Black Primordial.
Spoiler alert, the green one's my favorite. Let's have a moment of shocked silence. Alright, yeah, so green one's my favorite because there's no downside to it. I mean, hello, flicker me please. None of these guys are actually bad. They're all really powerful and really good.
You're not going to want to play each one in every deck. They are the most relevant cards being printed.
They don't do things that we associate with those colors in other constructed formats. They do the things we love about those colors in EDH.
And so that is our top 10 most relevant cards from Gatecrash. And now finally on to the 5 commanders from Gatecrash.
First up, and believe it or not, she has red in her mana cost, and I love her, and that's Aurelia the War Leader. You just smash face. You just smash face and win the game. She's an awesome beater angel, and she gives you extra combat phases, and you're playing Boros, and how can that be bad? Or you're putting her as one of the 99. She has vigilance, she has haste and flying, which makes her a good beater on her own, but then add to the fact that you're putting the beating on your opponents.
Next up is Borborgamos Enraged. Let me stress this by saying nobody wanted this card to be wonderful as much as I did. I really wanted to see Borborgamos, the Cyclops legend, to finally come back and just be great. Because we had Rakdos make a comeback, and he was fantastic. We had Asperia come back in her 2.0 and she was just fantastic. Borborgamos Enraged didn't quite hit the mark for me. Being able to discard a land card and lightning bolt someone is just great. And when you play things like Life from the Loam, getting your lands back, Creeping Renaissance, name land to get your lands back, those cards will definitely allow you to continue this bolting engine. But he's a 7/6. He trades with a Titan. I mean, Borborgamos, the legendary Cyclops, dies to a Titan? What?
You paid 8 mana for him.
You paid 8 mana for? Now granted, you could discard 2 land cards and shoot a Titan, but the fact that in combat, this humongous Cyclops with a huge club hammer thing is dying because Sun Titan blocked him. That's just not right in my book. I just have a problem with that. I know a lot of you guys love Borborgamos, which that's fine. I have a problem with him being tradable to Titans. Next up, we have Lazav Dimir Mastermind. And once again, being someone who loves to copy stuff, Lazav Dimir Mastermind is a legendary creature after my own heart. He's like a Sakushima the Imposter that works great with your mill decks. By himself, he's a 3/3 with hexproof. Thumbs up for that. And not to mention, I don't know what it is about the artwork on this guy, but he looks absolutely badass. Just like this decrepit old man that looks like he could just kill you in a second. Whenever you see a legendary creature, he should look something like that.
Then we have Prime Speaker Zagana. Just because she was designed with a sledgehammer doesn't mean she's not good. First off, she's a wizard and a merfolk. 2 of the best creature types to interact with in blue, especially wizard. Not only does she get 1 bigger than your biggest creature, but she draws you that many cards. How can that be bad? I mean, blue loves to draw cards, green loves to play fatties. Prime Speaker Zagana is a legendary creature match made in heaven.
And the final general that we have to talk about is Obsidat Ghost Council. Miss Voltron General Lady herself. Let's talk about how awesome Obsidat is.
Okay, first off, you're playing white, so hello, Stoneforge Mystic is a thing. And then you're playing black, so why bother with Stoneforge Mystic when you just get Demonic Tutor? Or why not play both? Finding equipment to strap on Obsidat in this deck should not be very hard. Here's a really great Voltron General. Evade sorcery speed removal if you choose to flicker him. Not to mention, you get to siphon life whenever he enters the battlefield. And he has haste if you do choose to flicker him. So, the only downside to this guy, that is if you do choose to flicker him, then you're gonna have to strap the equipment back on. That and the fact that he's just a vanilla 5/5. When I say he's a vanilla 5/5, and that's the worst thing about him, so Obsidat definitely gets the Voltron seal of approval.
And even though Obsidat isn't a he, it's a they. It's just weird
They all
to me.
look like dudes to me.
Well, yeah, but you can't say he, you have to say they. Obsidian Ghost Council, they are good. I don't know, it's just really weird to me.
He, they, whatever. I don't care. It's a bunch of dudes.
A bunch of ghost
Now
dudes.
you just need to get it altered for there to be like a keg in the middle of them, and they're sitting down watching the Super Bowl.
Or they're all like in a steam together with
Oh,
towels.
yeah, no, that's awesome. In a sauna.
In a sauna, that's right. They're all in a sauna together. Well, thanks again for watching our Gatecrash Commander set review. Keep in mind that these are our own personal opinions, and so let us know what you think of the set down in the comment section below. I'm Karsten,
And I'm Brianne.
and thanks for watching.